Great thought-provoking approaches, tools, and use cases, Dominic. Thank you for sharing your insights. Next on deck is Nathan Lesnoski, CTO of Concurrency. Go ahead, Nathan.
All right, welcome. My name is Nathan Lasnoski. I am the Chief Technology Officer of Concurrency, which is a consulting organization that works with businesses to transform their above-the-line capabilities in marketplace disruption, as well as their below-the-line capabilities in operating their business. And what I'm going to talk a little bit about today is what we're seeing with companies adopting AI technologies to be able to transform the way they manufacture, produce products, and deliver products to their customers. So what we've been seeing is that there are two main domains that technology is being leveraged within our customers. First would be below the line, the things that you think about as traditional IT, readiness associated with taking advantage of new capabilities, cloud capabilities, marketplace disruption capabilities, but they have to be enabled by efficiency and security that's happening below the line. But what we're here to talk about today is about what's happening above the line, the disruption that's occurring within our customers inside your businesses by creating new revenue and operational savings. And artificial intelligence, data and AI, and apps and products are the primary tools that we're seeing companies use to be able to accomplish that end. So when we think about this conversation today, think about leveraging AI in the context of bringing operational efficiency to your manufacturing environment, and also integrating it into the way you develop and deliver products to your customers. So when we think about scenarios in the transformation of the manufacturing organizations that we're working with, what we're finding is that there are some common themes that we're seeing companies needing to achieve. On the left-hand side, you can see what we see as probably the most common scenario, which is automating and optimizing the supply chain. This is an area that transformation via artificial intelligence and machine learning has made significant gains, particularly because it brings capability that our ERP systems have not been able to touch. It brings an ability for us to drive efficiency within organizations to a level that those organizations have never been able to achieve with Excel templates and manual work and systems that they've sent that data out to and try to receive input back. By building competency in that domain, it's been something that's brought a high degree of change. You can also see other scenarios, such as changing the way that artificial intelligence is used to engage our customers, especially B2B selling. Driving predictive maintenance, both for existing products that we're building internally, ones that we're using on our manufacturing floor and need to optimize, as well as the products that we actually sell to our customers and driving predictive maintenance there. You can see where AI is applied to smart warehouse, driving opportunity for the warehouses to be optimized for us to produce product in the most efficient way and for us to move product in the most efficient way, either between warehouses or inside the warehouse. The transformation of products themselves, where the product I'm selling to my customers is a smart product, where I'm driving predictive maintenance or engagement right within the tool that I've delivered to them, and I'm engaging in a continuous relationship with my customer, even if it's sold through a B2B channel. The engagement around customer insights, so I can understand my customers better. Quality management optimization and understanding what I've built and whether I built it well as even scenarios like cycle counting, where manual processes that take all this time from our employees are optimization opportunities where I can take cycle counting and even turn it into a forward motion attached to quality management or smart warehouse. So many opportunities for us to leverage artificial intelligence in order to make our companies better. So I'm going to go into two different scenarios that are ones that I think are worthy of a deep dive in this conversation. The first is supply chain. This is something that every business is dealing with. It's something that we have not adequately solved. And as we've gone into solving this scenario with machine learning and artificial intelligence, what we've seen is that the commoditization of the artificial intelligence platform and the development of skills within our customers to be able to create artificial intelligence applications has enabled for this supply chain scenario to be more than adequately improved. So oftentimes what we're seeing is that companies have a delta between the kind of material they need and the inventory they have to be able to produce what they're producing for their customers at the right time, the right place, at the right cost. We're finding that almost every company has about a 10 to 30% logistics opportunity for optimization. That's about a $40 million opportunity within a typical $1 billion organization. That savings is very achievable. It's achieved in almost every organization that we've talked with, and it's one that machine learning can rapidly bring to the table. It also is an opportunity for reduction in things like shipping costs, getting the right material at the right place at the right time. Machine learning is an excellent platform for this kind of gain to be achieved because, frankly, people aren't that good at math. And when you apply 10 to 30% opportunity onto an existing manufacturing environment, you can find that the investment to be able to achieve those gains is small in comparison to the payoff. So this is a very achievable short-term opportunity for most organizations. It's one that is achieved simply because the commoditization of AI ML allows for this to be achieved via skills that are built within organizations, not having to ship it off to some third party to be able to make some kind of data analysis and then send it back to you. This is something where competency can be built inside your organization and additional data can be used to be able to achieve those gains. So we look at this in the context that there's a demand forecast that's informed by external factors that estimates an inventory need that then drives that into what products I have, my manufacturing load, and then future needs. And all that process is broken down into pieces in order to solve for that. Ultimately, that can even be used on the sales side, where I look at this particular view and I can see in the green boxes are the customers that are buying in alignment with where I predicted them to buy and the inventory I knew I needed. Whereas the red boxes may be buying not in line to the kind of inventory that my customers are wanting at that given point or have been buying. Allows me to go to those customers and try to figure out why, maybe sell more to the ones that are buying on a frequent basis. You can also see that there's inputs and outputs that make these very successful. Understanding historical data, patterns, sales predictors, series of time allows for these sorts of projects to be able to be aligned to outputs that are tied to, say, sets of large buyers, small buyers, product groups, anomalies. It allows us to be able to be much more successful in achieving those gains. This is a tremendous area for investment. It's one that we've seen from consulting space, has a tremendous opportunity for companies to be able to achieve gains. The next scenario is predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance has a lot in common with what SESME's core mission is, especially with the SM platform. What we're seeing is the commoditization of predictive maintenance and the ability for organizations to bring a differentiator to their product or to their manufacturing line are tremendous. The same opportunities exist in many organizations, either increasing the service revenue tied to products that I've sold by going to them at the right times, or decreasing maintenance cost by optimizing the manufacturing time that's attached to my workloads. Understanding that the initial model and building of these can drive clear gains over short periods of time, especially if I have established data. Ultimately, finding patterns is the hard part. Getting the data tends to not be that difficult. A lot of systems are already wired up. Customers like Paragen that produces fetal heart rate monitors, Heraeus that melts metal and turns it into different composites, or even a remote analysis of things like sewer pipes can leverage predictive maintenance to be able to identify problems faster and drive outcomes. These are not aspirational goals anymore. These are things you can do right now with off-the-shelf capabilities that are available for almost anyone to be using. Predictive maintenance also allows you to drive that optimization of the human work stream, so I apply their intuition to the right place at the right time. Ultimately, that analysis is leveraging machine learning to be able to achieve these outcomes. It also allows us to be able to do so in a way that achieves those gains very quickly by using the right data. This can even be part of your product. One of our customers we're working with, Brunswick Corporation, has built a smart boating platform that leverages predictive maintenance to be able to provide increased gains to their customers and to build a continuous customer relationship. So predictive maintenance isn't just about your manufacturing line. It's also about building connected product relationships with your customers and through the B2B sales channel. So ultimately, this is about achieving insights. It's about leveraging data, IoT, connected platforms to be able to drive insights to your manufacturing process, demand inventory forecasting, as well as your products that you're selling to your customers. That's built on what we would call an analytics maturity curve, moving from a very manual state to an ability to leverage data warehousing and visualizations up to what is ultimately the combination of the modern data framework of varying cloud platforms, some SM platform, as well as machine learning to be able to achieve those outcomes. And then you start to move from just diagnostic and viewing reports to predicting what's going to happen, to saying what you should do with it, to then being able to tell stories about the relationship between different outcomes. And as you start to climb that maturity curve, your business gains from optimization of inventory to delivering insights to your customers to being able to optimize the manufacturing process. Whether you have so much customer demand that you can't produce fast enough to scenarios where you really have to be tight on the relationship between the inventory you buy and what price you buy it at and where it is to what you ultimately are selling. So there's a high degree of variability there, but the relationship between the modern data framework, machine learning, and driving up through predictive, prescriptive, and storytelling creates tremendous outcomes. So thank you for the time. We are seeing so much tremendous gain inside of manufacturers with the kinds of things that we're doing with them, especially in creating manufacturing-specific optimizations using AI and machine learning and modern data platforms as well as the cloud to be able to achieve those gains. We are super glad to be part of Sesame, to be a member that's achieving these gains in companies, and we're looking forward to more conversations about this space.